So far in free agency, the Arizona Cardinals have done a fantastic job. We've done so much better than I thought we were. In the first 3 days, we were kind of silent. Then we signed Dalvin Tomlinson, and yes, that did fix a lot of the problems. That shut me up entirely, and we're in a really good position. We completely transformed the defensive line. Josh Sweat. We also have Tomlinson, like I said. Those are 2 game wreckers. Watch the tape on both of those guys. You're going to come away walking impressed. But the Arizona Cardinals are not done, because apparently we're hosting free agent Asante Samuel Jr., and this is a player we're going to be talking about. This is one of the 3 guys that I still want the Cardinals to go dabble in, see the interest, see what we could do, potentially bring them in. But we hosted him on a visit today. This was about 3 hours ago. He spent 4 seasons with the Chargers, a little underwhelming. There's a little bit of flaws in his game, but I think they could be coached up, and we're going to be talking about a couple of things today. Like previously mentioned, there are 3 players that I want the Cardinals to dabble in. We're going to be discussing all 3 of them. I think if we can sign them, it's going to help us boost our chances to make the Super Bowl, to make the playoffs, and we would be in such a good spot. We have positions we need to address. Wide receiver and corner are probably the top 2. Guard, I think we're going to get Will Hernandez, or we're going to address it at some point with Mekhi Becton, somebody like that. I could see Will Hernandez coming back. Everything is in the possibility. I think we're going to get a guard, but there's 2 positions that I am extremely worried about, and that is wide receiver and corner. So we're going to be discussing that today, but before I dive in with my 3, I want you guys to give me your 3 down in the comments section below. And if you guys are new to the channel and end up enjoying today's video, I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL content. This is the perfect channel for you. Consider hitting that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's get into player number 1, which we already teased it, but let's go ahead and dive right into it. So the first player we're going to be discussing today is none other than San Diego, or Los Angeles Charger. I want to call him San Diego so bad it just flows off the tongue even better. Asante Samuel Jr. So this is a very interesting case, because last year he was hurt, and Jim Harbaugh had no update on him in like week 13. Says he's been told by the organization to only provide updates when needed. It looks like he just kind of hushing everything, which is a little strange. I'm not gonna lie to you. They obviously knew that he wasn't gonna be retained. Something happened, something with the injury. I don't know what happened exactly. I'm not in loop with that situation. If you're a Chargers fan, you let me know on a deep dive, because I have no clue. It was just really weird when that got reported, and that was kind of the final straw of like, hey, we're letting you go. We're going to sideline you for the rest of the year, let you hit free agency. And that's where he's currently at right now. So it's very interesting, but this is a prospect that I do like. The only problem is he hasn't been consistently healthy. He's only played 4 years, though. In 2 seasons, has played 17 games, and he has totaled 6 interceptions. But last year, 4 total games, that is not good. In his rookie year, he played 12. Just a lot of question marks with his game. He doesn't like to tackle. He's not super physical, but he can cover pretty decently. I think the Cardinals could coach him up personally. His stats are not very telling. He doesn't like tackling, like I said. It's like a lot like Patrick Peterson without the man coverage and the covering ability. He's not as good as Patrick Peterson. If you're afraid of signing somebody just like that who doesn't want to get physical and tackle, he's probably not the player for you, but he can cover, and I do think he can get coached up. This is also somebody I was high on 3 years ago. Shout out YouTube being able to find comments, but I said honestly wouldn't be mad with the Asante pick in the 2nd round. Seems like the Cardinals love him too, because they've had like 3 visits with him. If we do somehow get Stephon Gilmore or J.C. Jackson, which J.C. Jackson didn't pan out, Stephon Gilmore has been an all-pro, one of the best corners since this. I hope we don't double dip, because we also need a tight end, running back, and some more safety depth. But if we don't land Gilmore or JC, I bet they draft 2, and one of them being Asante. I was wrong, we did not get him, but this is our chance to kind of, rekindle that flame. Let's go ahead and get him. In the 2nd comment, I said I would love to either get Asante Samuel Jr., and I'm pretty sure wait, what? I would love to either get Asante Samuel Jr. I just completely forgot to put a 2nd player. I'm pretty sure Steve Keim is super high on Samuel Jr. too. If we could walk away with either of them, that's a huge W. I just completely forgot. I don't even know. I don't even know who the 2nd player would have been. Based on my comment before, it was probably J.C. Jackson or Stephon Gilmore. Not gonna lie, but yeah, I've been high on him, and let's see what happens. His grades aren't fantastic. It's about 60, which is 131st, and run defense, 59, 135th. Coverage grade 129. His grades aren't fantastic. 12 total tackles, 0 interceptions last year. It just wasn't the best. So this is kind of a year where we could snag him to a 1-year contract and potentially let him compete for that outside corner position, where we have Max Melton, Sean Murphy-Bunting, who we could replace. Like, there's a lot of options that we could have. I would love to bring him in. Let's see how the visit goes. If it went well, he will be an Arizona Cardinal. It was interesting to see that pop up today. That's player number 1. Let's go ahead and dive right into player number 2, who is also a cornerback and has been linked to the Cardinals. We actually were the favorites at one point to trade for him like a month ago. He's 27 years old, one of the game's best corners in the entire NFL, and this one might be a little unrealistic because they kind of are just clearing cap. They don't have cap casualties anymore. Dalvin Tomlinson, who they just cut, we signed him. Denzel Ward is one of the game's best coverage corners. And he's not really afraid to tackle either. He has really good ball skills. There's a lot of things that are very interesting with him, but I don't know if Cleveland is willing to part ways with him anymore. But if they are, I would definitely pick up the phone, see what the trade value is. If it's like a second round pick, I'd consider it, but I don't know. Just money off for giving up draft capital when you can get someone like Asante Jr. in free agency. It's kind of hard for me to see that happening. He's relatively young though, so it's interesting, but I don't know. It's not like a Monty move. Denzel Ward doesn't really stay healthy either the entire season. He misses games, but he does play a majority of them. He hasn't had any massive season-ending injuries. He played 13, 12, 12, 15, 14, 13, 16. It's interesting. I like the idea. He has 17 total interceptions throughout his whole career, 7 years so far. I wouldn't be mad if we dabbled into this. He also has 95 pass defenses, which is insane. He is just ridiculous. His grades last year, 68.4 overall, 54.1 pass rush grades, 61.1 run defense, and a 68.9 coverage grade. He also had 45 solo tackles, 2 interceptions, a total pressure. Hey, he might be able to rush the quarterback, might be the next starting edge for this team. 38 receptions allowed, which is 56 out of 223. Would love to have him, just depends on what the draft capital is, if the Cardinals would even entertain that, because we still do need an outside corner to be insanely competitive. We need someone who's sticky. In his accolades so far through his career, he is a 3-time Pro Bowler out of 7 seasons, 2018, 21, 2023, the Cleveland Browns 2021 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, and being named AFC Special Teams Player of the Week in 2018. That doesn't really matter, but it's cool to have, I guess. That is player number 2. You guys let me know down in the comment section below if you even think that's realistic. I think that's the most unrealistic one of them all, but you guys let me know. Let's go ahead and dive into player number 3, who is a wide receiver and is currently a free agent and a division rival, and that is Cooper Kupp. The only thing with both of these players, or a lot of these guys, is injuries do concern me. He's 31 years old, hasn't been able to stay healthy the majority of his career, but if we do sign him, I feel like that would light an edge under him. He gets to play the Rams 2 times, pair him alongside Marvin Harrison Jr. That would be kind of nasty. Cooper Kupp, an insane route runner, really good at creating separation, which we need desperately. So if we could bring somebody like this in, that would be amazing. It just depends on the money he wants. It was reported that he wanted massive money, which I'm not willing to give him. If it's anything more than like a 1-year, $10 million contract, you could chalk that. I'm not paying him. I really wouldn't. Like Davante Adams, I was floating around $14 million. And Davante Adams is levels ahead, and he's making a ton of money. I believe it's like $20 million a year, or a little more, like $23 million a year. I don't remember what Davante Adams is making, but it's ridiculous, way more than I would have paid. But the Rams did upgrade, so it's a little scary. I can't lie, because Matthew Stafford has 2 elite targets now, but Cooper Kupp is released, and now he needs a new home. Could be the Cardinals. He looks pretty good in Arizona Stadium, if I had to say so myself. But here's where the problems lie. He doesn't play games consistently. 12 games in 2024, 12 games in 2023. These are the most recent years he's missed a lot of time, only totaling 700 yards, but he can find that end zone. 2022, 800 yards, 9 games played. Like, it's just not good. These last 3 have been abysmal. But then in 2021, where he won Super Bowl MVP, he almost had 2,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, 145 receptions. Just an anomaly of a season. Ridiculous. Then he had 15, 16. So those 3 game stretch were pretty good. Then he had 8 and 15. So maybe we bounce back and get a Cooper Kupp season where he's healthy and he goes on a 3-year stretch and the Cardinals win the Super Bowl. Who knows at the end of the day? But it's a very interesting move because this would be fantastic to have alongside Marvin Harrison Jr. But at what cost? I'm not paying the big bucks. I'm not paying you $18+ million. I know you could produce like that, but I'm not paying you personally. I'd give you a 1-year prove-it deal for 10 to 12 million, maybe upwards to 14 like Davante Adams' contract, upwards to $14 million with incentives if you get like, I don't even know, like 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, and potentially like 85 catches. Like, you get all those, you can get up to $14 million. But I'm not throwing you anything past 10. Realistically, that's not happening. The injury history on all these guys do concern me a little bit, but the prospects are interesting. It's football. It's a dangerous game. I want all of these guys, at least one of them, on my team by the end of free agency. You let me know down in the comment section your 3 players. Let me know how you guys feel about mine. And if you guys are new to the channel, like I said, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL related content. So if you're a fan of either of those, perfect channel for you. But like I said, man, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.